Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in English with me, your host, Mr. Z. I'm in beautiful Croatia today, and I want to hop back just a little bit. In July 2014, we did a video about the BMW 2 Series Active Tourer, and we got a bunch of feedback, most likely negative feedback from BMW fans. Oh, it's not a real BMW. Ooh, front wheel drive. Oh, it doesn't look sporty. Well, all this complaining was for nothing because BMW sold 33,000 units of the Active Tourer. So this year in March in Geneva at the auto show, they presented the next van generation, the bigger one, and here it is. That's the BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer. It is 20 centimeters longer, 21.4 centimeters longer. The wheelbase grew about 11 centimeters and it's 5.3 centimeters higher. Okay, before someone else writes it, I have something in my face. Yes, it's against the wind noises because the wind is blowing here at the coast pretty strong. And I'm trying to avoid those noises with the thing. Anyhow, the guys from Munich, BMW, they avoid the word van for the Gran Tourer. Whatever, probably they think that's too unsexy, the word. It is a van. And we have competitors. Well, we don't have competitors in the premium segment, but at least we have competitors here in Germany or even in Europe. We have the Volkswagen Touran, which is the biggest one from sold units. We have the Opel Zafira Tourer, the Peugeot 5008, as well as the Ford S-Max. For the market start, BMW introduces the 2 Series Gran Tourer with 5 different engines. We have 2 petrol engines, the 220i with 192 horsepower, the 218i with 136 horsepower, and that's, by the way, a 3-cylinder. Then we have 3 diesel engines. The biggest one is a 220d xDrive that comes with 190 horsepower, the 218d comes with 150 horsepower, and the smallest one is a 3-cylinder again, the 216d comes with 116 horsepower. In summer, BMW will give you 2 more engines, a small petrol engine, the 216i, and the diesel, the 220d without xDrive. But here we have it, 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine, 190 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque at 1750 RPM. And xDrive stands for all-wheel drive, so the torque goes to all the 4 wheels. And we have an 8-speed automatic transmission here. For all the number geeks of you, here are the basic facts. Acceleration from 0 to 100 km per hour or 62 miles per hour in just 7.6 seconds. And the top speed is reached at 218 kilometers per hour / 165 miles per hour. The gas tank of the 2015 BMW 220d xDrive is good for 61 liter or 16.1 gallons. BMW claims a fuel consumption of 5 liters on 100 kilometers or 47 miles per gallon, which means that under perfect conditions you can drive up to 1,220 kilometers or 750 miles without getting gas. The 220d xDrive has a length of 4.56 meters or 180 inch with a wheelbase of 2.78 meters equals 109 inch. Its height is 1.61 meters or 63 inch and it is 1.8 meters or 71 inch wide. As of the return radius, you need at least 11.7 meters of free space. The curb weight is 1,525 kilograms or 3,362 pounds. The admissible total weight is 2,120 kilograms or 4,674 pounds. At least in Germany, the BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer starts with 4 different option lines. The most affordable one called Advantage. One above, Sport line. One above, Luxury line. Voila, that's our car. We have the luxury line. And the one above, hold your breath. It's a van, hold your breath. M Sport. Yeah, we even get a M Sport line for this car. And however, again, it's not a van, it's a Gran Tourer. And I've read the press release and I was really amazed what they did. They took the hood and put it really up, took the windscreen, pressed it down, made it look flat. And if you look, it doesn't look like a van. Actually, it looks a little bit like a regular car. Doesn't look like a van, so the designers did a good job. However, it is a BMW. It's supposed to look like a BMW. We have the kidneys here, the BMW badge, and we have the 2 rings for the day running light. You can choose between xenon and BLED, full LED headlights. And with the full LED headlights comes a cornering light as well with LED technique. Whenever I get prepared for my moderation, I'm reading the press release, of course, and every once in a while even whatever my colleagues have written, especially the car magazines in Germany. They're very popular and they get to drive the cars about 2 weeks earlier than we do, so I can read what they think about the car. So I want to quote one colleague, and he wrote something about this car shows pretty much a one-box design. Let's take a 2 Series and chop it off right at the hood and just add a box. That's what the car looks like. It's not my opinion, I just thought it was funny. In the press release, however, BMW writes, well, we have the shadow line here, starting in the front and rising up, so it gives the car a more dynamic look. I'm curious to know what you think about the side, and please let me know in the comments. However, the basic model stands on 16-inch alloy wheels. The luxury line that we drive here is supposed to have 17-inch, but they put the 18-inch on our car, and 18-inch is the biggest size you can get from BMW for the BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer. So if you don't like this color, there are 12 more colors to choose from. Well, that's just my opinion, but from the back, the rear view, this car could be even called a sport tourer, because we have this big spoiler on the roof with an LED braking light up here, and as an follow-up from the D-pillar, we have something they called aero blades, so some fins that are supposed to push the air in the right direction. And we have 2 exit pipes right here. Wow, that's cool. I mean, what a sporty car. And by the way, from the side view again, you might see that the rear bumper sticks out a little bit. This was made for the German market because behind there is a construction, and this construction helps to get a better insurance rate. Before I invite you to follow me inside in the front row, I would like to open the back door as well, just so you can see, you know, regular car, big front door, small back door, and here's this door is just huge. It's massive. You need it. However, we're getting in the cars almost like getting into a compact SUV. You don't sit down deep. It's just you just push your ass on the seat, and that's pretty easy. The door opens about 80 degrees, but still I can reach it, and it closes very easy. Welcome to the interior of the luxury line, and I have to confess I will sound like a marketing guy now for around about 2 minutes, because I really like the interior. I really like it. This wooden application is part of the luxury line, as well as a brushed alloy here and there, and the full leather we find. And I really am, you know, is this leather? Maybe it's not. I don't want to smell on it. However, wherever I touch something, it feels good. We have this soft touch over here, and this is probably soft touch even, but as they put it in the same color like the leather, it looks like leather as well. Pretty well done. Yeah, that's cool. And even with the bright leather, I mean, who would really buy bright leather? I mean, you just, you know, make it dirty at once, but this whole car gives you such a good feeling. I like it. So premium appeal all over the car. And we're driving a van, we're driving a Gran Tourer, so we have lots of space in the front, to the side, for my head, for my legs, everything. This is a spacious car, a spacious BMW. And coming to how to use the car, the center is facing me just a little bit like in every BMW, and once you've driven one BMW, you can find everything you need right in place where you expect it. Well, okay, we cannot adjust the height of the seat belts, but I will show you at least the size or the length of the seat belts. So yeah, I can still go to some junk food place. The seats, I'm not sure if they're really sport seats. It kind of feels like it. So they give you a great side support. You can adjust them electrically down here and in every way. And you can even adjust how much side support they're supposed to give you up here at your sides. By the way, you can heat them up, of course, in 3 intensities, the seats. Oops. We have a leather-coated steering wheel that we have to adjust manually, but I like how much I can, you know, pull this out. This is really what I expect from a car with an adjustable steering wheel, that the steering wheel comes out a lot, but now a little bit inside. The leather is feeling a little bit too hard for the rest of the car. Still, it's a good touching leather material. And we have shifting pedals, plastic shifting pedals, by the way, but at least they look like brushed alloy. And on the stripes of the steering wheel on the left side, we can adjust everything concerning the cruise control, the speed limiter, and enable the lane keeping assist, I guess. On the right side, we have everything to control the infotainment system. Yeah, we have 3 mirrors. Oh wow! Now both of the mirrors are not big, they're not small. They just have the right size to focus on the rear traffic. So is the inner mirror. I can see the whole rear window, so I can check everything which is behind me. Besides that, I do have an awesome rear driving camera that has a really crisp picture, and it even shows you the line whenever you use the steering wheel, which way you are going. Looking around my shoulder, this is just no problem at all. And over the right shoulder, B pillar fine, C pillar fine, D pillar, the one in the very back is pretty big. And yeah, I'm glad I have a rear camera as well, and a blind spot warner, of course, but it's not so big that it's really disturbing. I mean, once you look around, shake your head a little bit, everything will be fine. Looking in front of me, I have 2 round gauges, a speedometer up to 260 kilometers per hour. By the way, it's not digital, it's really painted in there. And the car goes 218, so we even have some more for going downhill or having winds from the back. On the right side, we have the RPM meter going up to 6,000 RPM, and the red area starts at, I think, 5,400. in the round gauges, on the left side we have the gauge for the tank, and on the right side, related to which driving program you drive, it shows you how efficient you're driving right now. Down under the round gauges, and I don't really get it why they don't put it between the gauges like everyone else, we have a little screen for the board computer. And overall, I like BMW's gauges because you can read them during daylight as much as good as during nighttime. If I raise my view just a little bit, I find this little plastic thing right here, and that's a head-up display. Just like in the 2 Series Active Tourer, same stuff. So you don't have the projection in the screen itself, but on this little plastic thing. So this is my head-up unit, and I like it. I mean, it's better to have it full in the screen, but since they didn't have enough space, I guess, they put it on this little screen, and it's better to just lower my eyes a tiny bit and see all the information that I need than to lower it even more to find it on the round gauges. Besides that, we have this brilliant, and I'm really saying brilliant, infotainment display that has such a crisp picture and is easy to read during daytime, even with the sun. It's really, it's joyful to use it. Okay, we do have an ambient light in here, but I can show you, and I don't even know how it looks like, because it's bright outside, and we probably won't keep the car until nighttime. So all I can tell you, they have two different settings. One is called Classic, the other one is called Luxury. We have a panoramic sunroof in here that you can pull a shade electrically, so you don't have the sun in here. But once you have it open like we do right now, it's split it in two parts. The first part you can open, the second one is just fixed, and I like it because it lets a lot of sun in here, and so it makes the car even more bright. And I do have two kids, and they enjoy big panoramic sunroofs because they can look outside through the roof, which is kind of neat. Overall, I have to do it in German, so I will do it in English as well, very enthusiastic as well. Here is a honk, and I will honk the horn, and that's what it sounds like. Well, let's go on and take a look around. Since this is a family car, we should have a lot of compartments. In the door panels, we have not only space for this one half a liter bottle, but space for 1.5 liter bottles. And besides that, there's another department and lots of space to put stuff in there, like this warning vest. You can use this place here as a handle to open to close the door, or you use it as a little compartment next to the steering wheel. On the left we have another compartment, and I like how I have well, first of all, my whole hand fits in there, so it's pretty deep, and they have an anti-slip surface in there. Going down here, no, I forgot. Under my seat is a little compartment with a little door, flap, whatever I can open, and here again, anti-slip surface. As well as in this little compartment right there, and I like it because this is really like, I can just throw my iPhone in. That's easy, that's cool, that's done. Only thing there is, I can put my iPhone here and I'm low on battery, and I can't load it here because we only have one single USB port, and that's sitting right here. So we have two cup holders here, and this bottle fits in here as well. It's all I have right now. I'm very sorry I didn't buy anything. I'm really curious if larger bottles would fit in here. Most probably because I think those things get tighter on the way down. In between we have a 12-volt outlet at least, and here's the armrest. I can adjust the armrest only in height, so I can't pull it forward. And inside the armrest we have another little compartment, most likely for a holder for your iPhone or other smartphone. And once you flip it up, you have a really huge compartment here again with the USB port and an aux-in port. Then, of course, we have a gloves compartment, which is pretty deep, but the opening is pretty tight, so you might have problems really putting bigger things in there, but at least there's enough space because they put the manual in a separate drawer up there. We have, of course, sunshades for driver and passenger seats with a makeup mirror, which could be a little bit bigger for my taste. It's illuminated, and we have this little clip where you can put your ticket or whatever. Right here we have a reading light for the driver, for the passenger, and the big entry light, the entry light. And here's a switch for the panoramic sunroof. And I guess that's all about it for so far. Once again, this door is huge. Huge door means easy entry. So let's hop inside and look what we got here. Just like in the front row, getting in here is really easy. You don't have to scoot down. You just hop in the car. The door is really easy to close. Once again, I'm 180 centimeters, 5'11". The driver's seat is now again in my personal position that I can drive all right, and I can sit here very comfortable. I have enough place. The headroom is not feeling as good as in the front, but still I have enough. And what I really like is I can adjust the backrest. So I have a little leash here, and I can put this forward. I could actually sit like this, but I don't want to. But, you know, if you have problems with your back, you know that it's really nice if you can adjust the backrest every once in a while on longer drives. And so I can either sit really straight or like really kick back. Okay, I don't know, it should be coming out a little bit. All right, and I can scoot forward with the seats in a proportion 40%, 60% here. And if I scoot forward all the way, that's it. I can even sit like this. I could sit here for, well, let's say 20, 30 miles maybe. And if I just scoot back a little bit more, that's already enough space for me to take even longer drives. So some people could sit in the third row if they wanted to. Let's look around the compartments. We have a cup holder here in the door, or a bottle holder rather. And again, like in the front, there is enough space for 1.5 liter bottles. Next to this compartment is another one where you can put a lot of stuff. In the door again we have a little compartment, even a tiny one in front of it. On the back of the front seat we have this little net, but this is hard plastic, so you can really not put much more than really newspapers or magazines in here. Otherwise you will probably tear down the net. In the center we have at least, one 12-volt outlet. You know, why not put 2 or 3 in here? But okay, just 1, and the air outlets for the air conditioning for this second row. Thinking about kids in the back, we can put Isofix seats in here, or seats, child seats with Isofix hooks, and the locks for the safety belts are stiff enough so kids should easily be able to buckle up themselves, and you shouldn't have any problems buckling up child seats here with the seat belts. What I really like, we have a reading light right here next to my head on the side, not in the center where it would disturb the driver in the rear mirror, but nice and easy on the center, an LED light next to the handle, and next to the handle is a little hook for your jacket as well. I don't want to forget the armrest that we have here. There's a little compartment in the back, and in the front we have cup holders, and this half a liter bottle fits in here with ease. I think even 0.75 or even 1 liter bottle should fit in this cup holders. Yeah, and I enjoy the view outside through the big panoramic sunroof. I guess that's it. You have a handle that you can, you can flip the backrest easily and scoot forward the whole seat so it's easier to get in. Let me just try this out. All right. And oh yeah, no, no, not really. I cannot really sit here with my legs. They're totally cramped now. Okay, I just asked Toby to scoot forward the seat because remember, I could sit with my 180 centimeters 5'11 easily in the first, second, and now not easily, but I can at least sit in the third row as well. But really, this is not for grown-up, just for kids or for not very tall grown-ups. I have reading lights over here, and I have 2 cup holders and a little thing for whatever it's good. However, this is no fun. I think if you have like a bachelor party, and you want to go somewhere, to the next club, I would sit here and say, yeah, okay, let's go. Other than that, I don't want to sit here. I'm 180 centimeters tall, 5'11". Everyone taller than me will bang his head when the door is open. Other than that, I can stand here staying dry while it's raining outside. Let me show you around in the trunk. First of all, we have a little trap door right here. And this blind rollo you use to prevent people from looking in your trunk. Whenever you remove it, where to put it? In the garage. If you don't have a garage, that's not handy. And here they put something, you can put it in here in this compartment. You have space for 100 liters and you have the emergency kit and the tire fit in here as well. And on the left side we have a little net and some rubber bands with some compartments behind them. We have 2 hooks for bags so they don't scoot around, and we have a 12-volt outlet here as well. We have 2 buttons on each side. One to electrically flip the back seats, that's pretty handy. And to get the third row up, you have to pull it all the way up here with this mechanical thing. Besides that, oops, I dropped something. If I want to lift it up in the trunk, that's around 76 centimeters. And as an option, you can either open the trunk with a key, with this sexy key by the way, and I really like it, so I like to show it around, with a button in the driver's door, with this button right there at the trunk door itself, or if I have this sexy key in my pocket, I can kick under the bumper and it closes automatically. As I said, it's an option, and that's about the trunk. You can place up to 600 kilos in the car altogether. 75 of that can go on the roof. You can install a hook with a 220 diesel xDrive. You can pull trailers up to a weight of 1.6 tons if they have their own brake. I just measured everything for you guys and memorized all the numbers. So here I go. First of all, as an option, you can get the passenger seat in a way that you can flip the seat as well, and then you can load goods up to a length of 2.6 meters in here. You have space for 160 centimeters till here when you have flipped the second seat row, and you might see it's not a plain surface, it's not plain, it's rising up here. To the second seat row we have 95 centimeters, and to the third seat row we have 25 centimeters. And between the tires we have at least 1 meter of space. Once you have flipped everything, you have 1,905 liters to fill in here, at least if you only have 5 seats. Since we have 7 seats, there's still 1,820 liters. And once I flip back the second row, which is not working because I do it wrong, you have at least 560 liters when you have 7 seats, and 645 liters when you have 7 seats, but the third row should be lowered still. A few words about my driving experience in the BMW 220d xDrive Gran Tourer. This car is not too exciting to drive, honestly, and we've talked last night a bit with other colleagues, and we all think the same. It's a good car, it drives fine, but it's not like providing too much driving excitement. Overall, it's a family van, and you can still drive it sporty. Especially here, our version with the all-wheel drive runs really well on the streets, in the curves, and I had no problems at all. I had not one situation where I was thinking, ooh, well, you know, it's not really behaving the way I want it. We have 3 different driving modes. We have Eco Pro for efficiency driving, we have Comfort, that's a regular mode, and we have Sport. Once you put it in Sport, you have a little bit more power on the throttle, and the suspension gets a little bit harder. I think that's optional. You have different suspensions you can choose from. And well, it shifts a little bit later while shifting up and a little bit faster when shifting down. So you can drive a little bit more sporty, but I never feel the need to even use the shifting pedals, for instance, or put it in Sport down here and shift manual with a stick. Besides that, the suspension is just fine. The car just runs. It's not too stiff. Once you put it in Sport, it's still really comfortable, and once you drive in Comfort, it's just fine. Here in Croatia, the roads are really nice, and even the country roads are not bad at all, but we had like 1 or 2 roads that were not so very nice, and I had no problem sitting here very comfortable. It is not a race car, of course. It is maybe a sporty van, but acceleration from 0 to whatever takes its time, and you feel it as well. You don't sit here like, whoa, damn, yes. It's rather like, yeah, okay, I see you're accelerating. Okay, I see it. So, but overall, it's not meant to be. If you want a sporty car, buy a BMW M3, M4, whatever. One thing I didn't like too much, but that's personal preference. Once you want to slow down the car and you put your foot on the braking pedal, you have to push it a little bit before the brake starts working. And I rather have it that it's really sensitive, the brake. But overall, just to sum it up, a good runner, fine, especially with this all-wheel drive. It's just a pleasure to drive, I think, for everyone, except the guys who really want to go sporty. We have various assist systems like traffic sign recognition, adaptive cruise control, and lane departure warning system, which is just warning you. You feel vibrations in the steering wheel, but it's not steering itself. We have a traffic jam assistant that works until for speeds up to 60 kilometers per hour. And once you stop the car, you have to at least push the resume button to make it go again. Otherwise, if you just stop for a second, it will go on driving by itself, and it will even steer for you. One word again to the head-up display. I really like it, and it's not as cool as having it really in the windshield, but this is better than nothing. And I'm not even looking at the gauges. I haven't looked at them at 1 second. All I do is looking at the head-up display. Alright, that's my review about the BMW 2 Series Gran Tourer. Hello guys from America, I'm glad you watched the whole clip, but you won't be able to buy it. This car is for the European market and for China. It's the BMW is not thinking yet about selling it in the US. So if you're asking yourself, is this the right car for me? You have enough money, you want a premium appeal in the interior, you like BMW, you are aware it's not a rear-wheel drive, so driving dynamics is a little bit different from what you're used from BMW, but you need a lot of space for your family or for your sports, then this car is not a bad choice at all. I had fun driving in relation of what the car is. So it's not an BMW M4, of course, but for a family car, this car is even fun to drive with a diesel. I liked it a lot. For the daily driver, you especially thinking about having kids, I think that's a good car because you have all these compartments and they make really sense. I can't tell you much about fuel consumption because we just did a little tour and I was not really driving to look how efficient this car works. So that's it. I hope you liked my review. I'm really happy if you give me a thumb up. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I'm trying to answer them. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe. We're doing this kind of videos all the time. And I want to apologize for my hard, strong German accent. I hope your ears didn't start bleeding so far, and I hope you tune in back next time. Goodbye, yours, Mr. Z.